It is 5 o'clock, live on 5, live at 5, live at 5. Most Things Hypnosis. I'm your host. My name is Isla Brock, and I'm a certified hypnotherapist. And this show is for some that may not know or coming in or whatever, as it becomes popular, and I know it is, and it's becoming more and more. Um, this is my show. This is kind of like my live segment of just a little goofy me, but I talk about things that are most things hypnosis. Sometimes I talk about marketing issues, business. I'm in business for myself. Some people come on and we just have a discussion, guest speakers, whatever. So right now I don't have any guest speakers or any participants, and that's fine because I do the show anyway. And no matter, I'm always going to do the show. Maybe from my phone, it might be from my car, might be out in the field, mostly from my office, is where I'm at. But today I want to talk a little bit about anxiety and the difference between anxiety and stress. A lot of this, I just look it up online, but I was curious what the most popular mental health issue is going on today. And a lot of it, anxiety comes as the number one. Every list that I ever looked at, the first page on Google. It just kept going down the list, and it's anxiety, and then you've got like depression and bipolar and all that, but anxiety always hits the charts. And most of those articles about that had a lot to do with, since the pandemic and anxiety, we're noticing more and more in our society, just becoming a thing since the pandemic. We've learned, and in the world of psychology, I'm not a psychologist, but in this world of mental whatever, being social with people, not just on Zoom, but being social with people makes a huge difference. You have to we're that kind of a being. We're not the kind of people that need to always have to be by ourselves. People need people. And there are people that this is the norms, it's not the exceptions, because I know plenty of people who just can close the door and let the world out and have their groceries delivered and never talk to anybody, and they'd be so happy. But I really think deep down, personally, I really believe deep down, they miss people. They just don't know how to interact with them. If you happen to be watching this and you are one of those people, reach out to somebody, say hi. That's all you got to do, just say hi. But there is a difference between anxiety and stress. I'm going to just read what I found here in the American Psychology Association. It says people under stress experience mental and physical symptoms such as irritability, anger, fatigue, muscle pain, digestive troubles, difficulty sleeping, etc. Anxiety, on the other hand, is defined by persistent, excessive worries that don't go away, even in the absence of stressors. So, what am I talking about? Well, first of all, I'm going to define a little bit more on anxiety. Anxiety is kind of like negative emotions around a future event. And that future event could be anything. It could be a year from now, the end of the day, your work day, whatever, excuse me, whatever that is for you. I mean, your future event that creates anxiety. I've had clients come in and they love their job, but they just don't like, and they like where they work. There's just some people twist them the wrong way. So every day they go into work now, they imagine themselves going through their day with happiness and imagining their relief, their anti-anxiety is just always imagining themselves not having to just being off work, walking to their car. That's when they feel the most relief. And that's just how, and they're happy with that. Our imagination, I've learned in recent days, is more powerful than our own mind. Our imagination's more powerful than willpower. So, and I may have said this last week, I don't remember, but it bears repeating again. So imagine, if you will, I have a 10-foot piece of wood that's 2 inches high and about maybe, 2 feet wide. And it's 10 feet long, and it's laying on the hallway here in my office. And I said, without any headgear, no helmet, no gear, no blades, no nothing, can you walk across that piece of wood without fear? Of course you can. Now let's raise it 10,000 feet with hot air balloons. How likely are you to cross that same piece of wood. And the reason most can't is because their imagination just got away with them. And that's kind of like a way to show you that imagination is incredibly powerful. My face is itching. I don't know if it's makeup or what, but anyway, so imagination is always more powerful than your willpower. You can willpower yourself to walk across that without a helmet, without any gear, but typically people that aren't trained, just the everyday Joe, is not going to do it, even if they're not afraid of heights, just because there's that little element of falling. And it's not so much the falling, which you hope you don't, but it could. So let's work with our imagination. My client that had a problem with being at work, she just imagines herself getting off of work and she feels good about it. Now she can be at work. I've had people imagining themselves, whatever it is that their goal is. Let's say imagining myself. I'm imagining myself, excuse me, I turn on my ear, it's cold in here. Imagining myself, I don't know about wealthy, but I would like to, and it's even about the money so much. I want more clients. I want to know what can I do to acquire and attract more clientele to help. Now I'm in a town of about 160,000 people, just in my little city, and it spreads out from there. I don't think there's 500,000 people in Tulare County. I've not really looked at the stats on that, but I want to help more people, and I know there's people that can be helped. So my goal is to keep using my imagination to see how powerful I can be, blah, blah, blah. And it can help you with anxiety. One of the things that I do help people with predominantly is in anxiety. The number one reason why people see hypnotists is because of quit smoking. And then the second is anxiety. But people who quit smoking are in anxiety. So if you're in any kind of addiction and you stop it, anxiety is going to become an element of something you have to address while you're going through withdrawals and trying to get yourself out of that addiction, whatever it may be. Some of the ongoing issues with anxiety would be dread. You can have physical ailments. I've talked to people all the time that they're having a panic attack or an anxiety attack, and they're just like, they feel like they're going to have a heart attack. Now, if you think you're going to have a heart attack, please go to the doctor. I'm not here to diagnose anybody. I'm just letting you know if you do. Okay, so and you're in and you know for sure it's an anxiety attack. Put a little salt on your tongue and wait about 5 seconds and then rinse out your mouth, and that should just stop it right there in its tracks. You might have itching, you might have hives, you can even have gas, and the thing that goes along with it. This is all in anxiety, intense worry without any special triggers or stressors to create it. I felt anxious yesterday. I don't know why. So I sat with it. So I just decided, I don't know why I'm feeling anxious. So I just said to myself, kind of under my breath, I know why I'm anxious. I don't, but I'm saying it to my own subconscious mind. I know why I'm anxious. I am anxious. I don't know what, but I know why. I know why. Well, my subconscious mind knows why. So I'm just going to go with that. You know why you're, why you're anxious. So let's just sit with it for a minute. I'm just going to sit with it. I'm just going to be in it and just see what happens. And I was consciously aware of whatever was going on. I never did understand what it was. Typically, if I am in any kind of anxiety, it's financial, but I'm not really worried about my money. That does stress me out sometimes when things go flat. I am self-employed and I do rely on clientele to, keep me going. So I just know that I think about that. And it's like, well, is that the reason? Is that why I'm feeling anxious? It's like, no, I didn't feel that connection there at all. Because it's also like, I'm like, well, am I? No, really, I'm okay. So that said, anxiety is the number one mental health issue going on right now, and how do I help you? Well, the first time you come in, we're gonna talk about it, where it came from and how it started, see if we can find some stressors that are creating it in the first place, and go through those one by one. And some people like, I don't know what my stressors are. Well, we're gonna pretend like you do, and we're just gonna imagine if you did know. And that's pretty much where I take it. And what would happen if you do have this anxiety? You're going to answer me. And what would happen if you don't have it? Now, here's a couple of weird questions, but very profound and confusing. What won't happen if you don't have anxiety? What won't happen if you don't have anxiety? Let's try this one. What won't happen if you do have anxiety? Let's say that again. What won't happen if you do have anxiety? Those questions are just profound and confusing, but they're meant to be, and the answers should be on the positive. How do you do anxiety? How do you do the problem? And then ask yourself, yes, I have anxiety, but I'm going to ask you, are you anxious right this minute? Well, no, the question is, are you anxious right this minute? Well, no. So why are you here? So you don't become anxious later? Okay, that's fine. It's valid. And I want to treat your anxious and your anxiety as valid. It is valid. It's valid for everybody. Don't ever dismiss the idea that your anxiety is not a valid thing. Oh, you're just a worry wart. All right, well, fine, be a worry wart. I'm going to give you validation for that. It's okay. Does anxiety create anger? Typically not. It creates stress. Stress creates anxiety. Usually your anger will come from stressful situations. It's allowing anxiety. Anyway, let's go back to how I'm going to help you. So after we do a thorough Q&A, I really should get somebody in here and do that with someone. Any volunteers, call me up. I'll be happy to work with you live, and we can work that right here live, go through some anxiety questions and actually do a session right here. So all you have to do is call. You cannot be a student of Hypnosis Motivation Institute nor a graduate. I want somebody who has nothing to do with the school I went to. Sorry, those like, oh, darn, yeah. You can call me and I can work with you. Just I'm not going to do it on camera. I want people to know that there's somebody that's just like them, not a hypnotherapist, not a hypnotist, no one like that. Somebody who just genuinely has this anxiety that you would like to work on. And we're going to work on it and plan to be in my show about an hour to, I'll even extend it to an hour and a half if necessary. We'll do some pre-stuff, but then the show will go on. So if you're interested, just give me a call. I'll be happy to work with you. But you're going to come in. We're going to have a long conversation. I'm going to get you talking about what's going on. When did it start? Oh, I've had it all my life. Really? And how old are you? I'm 46. Okay. All 46 years. So you were in anxiety when you were 6 months old? Well, no. Okay. When did it start? Well, now they're caught. I'm not trying to catch them. I'm trying to get them to think. I'm trying to get someone to think about when they say all my life. Really? You were anxious all your life? Let's just take a step back and think about all my life means. Started when your parents got divorced. Okay. And how old are you? 10. So it wasn't all your life. It was since you were 10, perhaps. Now, do you remember your 10th birthday? Many do. Yeah, no. I don't remember my 10th birthday. God, I really don't. Anyway, or thereabouts, something like that. So you're thinking about it and it's like, okay, so now as you're thinking about when it began, what happened before, what happened during, what's happening since, we're going to take you through what's called a timeline of events and just kind of go through it. Some of it you may have to make up. Some of it you may not remember, and that's fine. We're just going to catch the positive emotion and bring it forward. Emotions are energy emotion, and they just move forward and they make you feel good. I did not have a but first segment today, but I will. next week. But let me just finish real quick because I didn't want to lose track of my time. But big project I have to go finish or start and finish tonight. But that said, so we do a lot of Q&A. We find out where you're at on your anxiety, and then I do a whole conversion to hypnosis segment of the session. We do the hypnotics. I record it, and then I email it over to you to listen to every day for daily reinforcement. So you're kind of mimicking the session every single day, because unless somebody wanted to pay me to, to be here every day, they can come in and I'll spend an hour with them. I'm only $125 an hour. That's $125 an hour. So, somebody could come in every day if they really wanted to and do the same thing every day. It's fine. But typically it just makes it easier for the client to just listen to the recording once a day. They can come in and listen to it here. I'm fine with that. That's not expensive at all. I don't even know if I charge for that. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I think with that one, that's a good idea, huh? Can't do it at home, got to do it here. Great. Maybe let me work on that one. I just created a new idea. Doing your own meditation. Okay. Now I can't talk to you right now. Anyway, so I will work with you through the hypnotics, and usually it's inner peace, the first one on an anxiety. As soon as that's over, you typically will feel more relaxed and happy. And then we schedule you another appointment about 4 to 7 days later, and then we go on from there to find out what's happened. Every week, you're going to fill out a sheet of paper to tell me what your progress was from the week before. It's just about 7 or 8 questions, and just kind of let me know where you're at, etc. And that's how it works. Typically, it in 2 or 3, 4 sessions, you can feel a lot better than you did before you came in the first time. I'm going to go ahead and close it here. But before I do, real quick, a word from my sponsor, which is me. I am doing a new show. It's pre-recorded. It's called News in Hypnosis. It's on the Roku channel at Austin Reed Network and on Amazon Fire. It's called on the Austin Reed Network. I believe you can also find it on his YouTube channel, Austin Reed Network. Just look for News in Hypnosis. It airs on Saturdays in Portland, Oregon, and here in California. If you have any questions or can't find it, let me know and I'll send you a link. Take care. News in Hypnosis. What is it? It's all about hypnosis, all about how hypnosis can help people in certain situations. I've gone through the subconscious mind. I've gone through tinnitus or tinnitus, as some call it. I've worked with, I've already talked about smoking, and my 4th episode coming up next week, in a week. I'll be working with, talking about hypnotherapy, hypnosis in cancer, and how does that work. Got a whole segment on that and seeing how that works. So look forward to, if you guys want, you just go watch it. Check it out. Take care. And until next week, everybody, have an amazing weekend.